You are listening to Co-Create Your Life. In this podcast, we delve deep into the law of attraction, dispel common misconceptions, and give our listeners the tools they need to build a magical, purposeful existence in their everyday lives. Reclaim the creative power you already possess and join us at cocreationcoaching.org/create. That's cocreationcoaching.org/create.
Welcome to Co-Create Your Life. This is episode 34, Changing Your Money Mindset. I am Brandon Oliveris.
And I'm Christine Oliveris.
And we haven't been here for a while, so I'm sorry about that. It's been a while since we've done a podcast. We're hoping to get back to a regular schedule soon here. I don't know what days we'll be doing yet, but we'll figure that out later. But we are here today. And today we are talking about how to, as the title says, change your money mindset. Because the biggest thing that I found with people I'm working with on money is that they feel a certain way financially. They feel poor, they feel like they're struggling or whatever, and they have a hard time changing that. So I'm going to give some tips today on how you can change that mindset so you can start manifesting more money. So before we get started there, first just an announcement. If you would like to see the show notes for this podcast, you can go to cocreationcoaching.org/create034. And also you can see a transcript there if you're subscribed on our mailing list. And you can leave comments so we can know what you thought of our episode. So again, we are talking about your money mindset. And this is a really big thing. Money's the kind of big topic for me that I've focused on the most. You know, I get a lot of my clients for some reason are asking about relationships, but my big topic has always been money. It's the thing I've been the most interested in. It's the thing I've worked on the most. It's the thing I've had the most success in deliberately with the law of attraction. So I've had a lot of experiences with how it works.
And you're good with numbers.
And I'm good with numbers. That's true.
You would have been an accountant if you could have.
I almost did.
Yes.
A few times. And as I said in the beginning, you know, the biggest thing I think that gets in the way of people manifesting a lot of money is their mindset around it. Now, first of all, a lot of people go around manifesting money in a totally, stupid way. And that is that they think, okay, if I just spend, then I'll feel rich because I'll have all these things I'll be spending freely, and then I'll get a lot of money. Now, I can tell you that very few times does that actually work. That rarely works. And I'll tell you why. Yes. And I'll tell you why it rarely works. It rarely works because the vibration of wealth is not the same as the vibration of spending a lot of money. A lot of people are good at spending a lot of money. For instance, my own mother is a pro at spending a lot of money. She's done it my whole life. And, you know, no matter how much money she makes, she always has the same leftover at the end of the month, which is not very much. She's always struggled because whatever's left over, she spends, you know. And this isn't a criticism of her. I know lots of people do this. But, you know, she sees something she wants, she'll buy it or she'll figure a way to get it. And then, you know, she'll struggle later on. Or I know lots of people, or I've heard of lots of people who will rack up credit card debt because they just want to spend, either because of the law of attraction. They have this faulty assumption that if they spend a lot, then they'll have the vibration of wealth, or just because they want to spend. And so they get these credit cards and they rack up debt on them. And then they struggle to pay them off, and then they're just struggling in general. So that's not the vibration of wealth. If anything, that's the vibration of maybe
lack.
Middle class. Of lack, yeah.
Scared.
But I was gonna say middle class, because that's a very common thing for people to do who are sort of have enough money but not a ton, you know. But they try to appear wealthy by buying all the things that make them seem like they're wealthy. Someone who's truly rich may spend, yes. I mean, obviously they'll spend, and you hear lots of stories of people with lots of money spending on crazy things.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not their main focus. That's not why they're rich. It's just kind of a side effect of it. Their main focus usually is being frugal or just being wise with their money. I mean, that's how they got rich to begin with. So just in short, spending a lot of money just is not a way of getting that vibration of wealth. And again, it can get you into a place that's not so good, where you have to struggle to then pay off the debt that you've amassed. So that's not the way I'd recommend doing things. That's not going to change your money mindset. And in fact, it'll probably make it worse. So changing your money mindset is not about the actions you take. Okay? Very few things when it comes to manifestation is about the actions that you take. Very few things. Because your actions are just really a manifestation of your current vibration anyway. You can't break free from your current vibration through action. That's not possible. It's going to get revealed somehow. If you are in a vibration of lack and you try to take action to fix that, it's going to be revealed that you're still in a vibration of lack through the results you get from those actions.
I think people sort of spend too, like when they spend money, because they're afraid. I don't know if they're afraid they're going to lose it, so they just spend it anyway. It's sort of like a weird loop.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. But a lot of it, a lot of people advocate for acting as if. That's not something I encourage,
No.
Because acting as if kind of says, like, well, I don't feel like that right now, but I'll just pretend as though I do. And pretending doesn't fool the universe, so it's not going to change anything. Okay.
And not only that, but we already pretend anyway. That's why people can't manifest a lot of times, because they're trying too hard almost.
Right, exactly. So that's not the way to do it. So again, the way that you change your mindset or your vibration about something is not through action. It's through your focus. It's through your emotions. Right? And now I'll tell you before I get into really practical steps, but prior to probably October of 2016, my mindset around money was pretty poor, pretty bad. We had enough to get by, and we actually had a good many enjoyable things, obviously, but not an abundance of money, I'd say, not an abundance. And so definitely felt, I wouldn't say poor, but maybe not like I had everything I wanted to, or not like I had the freedom to just spend what I wanted to. After that fact, after October and onward through, until the present, it's gotten a lot better, where, and oftentimes I will compare how I feel now about money. I just said to Christine earlier, we were talking about a service that costs $89 and how someone couldn't afford that. And I was like, it's only $89. But the fact is that 2 years ago, that would have been a lot to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I was just going to say, because, and sometimes I'll say to you, well, wait, we were there once, remember?
Yeah. Well,
and it's like you forget how you were and how hard it was.
You're so, I guess, apart from that vibration. You're so far removed from that vibration that you can't really remember. It's literally a totally different framework, a totally different frame of mind.
I mean, although I'm still getting out of it, but just because I'm not used to it still.
Yeah, I'm the one that deals with the money more, so it's sort of, yeah. But,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's totally different. So that is the kind of thing I mean, where, like, and this is, I saw someone make this point recently too, and it's a good point, where the vibration of wealth, the way this person I'm talking about kind of visualized it, was being able to go to a really expensive, maybe 5-star restaurant or something, and ordering anything off the menu without looking at the price, and just being able to enjoy it and not be like panicked about what the check would come to. And that was for them the visualization, that was the vibration of wealth. So you really have to see what it is for you. I know people who will always be checking the price on things, even if it's very small. And I remember
I know, and I have a friend like that.
Yeah, I remember kind of laughing about this, but people who check the price on everything, they're so price conscious, which isn't always a bad thing, but the ability to just go out and buy something without really thinking about the price or caring, is
That's
really
kind of like what we
liberating.
do now.
Yeah, pretty much. So how to change that mindset? First of all, you want to see where your current mindset is. And that's, I think you should probably be pretty aware of that. Basically, without pretending, how do you generally think about money? When you have to pay a bill, do you feel calm? Do you feel sort of uncomfortable? Do you feel downright panicked? That used to be me. Like, oh my God.
Just don't tell me about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. When you go grocery shopping, how do you feel? Do you feel like you have to budget every dollar? Do you feel like, you have to find every sale? And there's a difference between choosing to find the sales and having to find the sales. There's a total difference there. How do you feel about going out to a nice dinner? How do you feel about ordering in? How do you feel about buying something nice for yourself that you see in a store or that you want on Amazon? These types of things will outline your money mindset. How do you feel? Does $100, if something costs $100, does that feel like a lot to you or like not a big deal? Those sorts of things will outline your money mindset. And there's no right or wrong about it. It's just, where are you now and where do you want to end up?
So when you said $100, I hope you don't mind. But it reminds me of when I was little and my mom went to the ATM. I think she took out either $100 or $200. I was like, "You're so rich." Well, now.
Right. Well, you were a little kid, so obviously it's like, ooh,
I know, but it's just funny. It was just like, wow.
So, that's generally, how you tell where you are in your money mindset. And again, there's no right or wrong about it. It's just where you are. And in order to manifest anything, I've used before, like the analogy of the GPS. If you're programming in a GPS, you have to program your destination, yes, but it also has to know where you are. There are these funny stories. I read this. I swear it's related. I read this website called Not Always Right, and there are stories from employees in a store where someone will call for directions and they'll say, "How do I get to your store?" And the employee will say, "Okay, well, where are you starting from?" "I just want to know how to get to your store." "Well, I need to know where you're starting from." "No, you don't need to know that. I just need instructions or directions to your store." "I can't tell you that unless I know where you're coming from." And it goes back and forth. You have to have a starting point, right? That's just, should be common sense, but
oh my gosh, people are stupid sometimes.
So all we're doing right now is letting the GPS know where you're starting from, where your current location is, where's my money mindset. And then what we want to do is to know what the destination is and how to get there. So that's a perfect opportunity. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back and talk about where or what your destination is and how to get there. Okay, and we're back. Welcome back to Co-Create Your Life. And again, we are talking about changing your money mindset. So we talked about already some things you don't want to do to change your money mindset that a lot of people try to do. And the first step, which is knowing where you are. And so now you should have a pretty firm grasp on where you are already in regards to your money mindset. So the next question is, where do you want to be? Now, I can't tell you this. This is your step, because you could want to be a millionaire. You could just want to make 50,000 a year, or you could want to make 100,000 a year. That's up to you. Or it could just be a vibrational thing. You could say, I just want to feel like I can go out to dinner and not care about the bill, not care about how much it comes to. Or I just want to be able to go shopping a few times a month for, things that I don't necessarily need, but I want, and not care about how much it comes to. Or, what do you want? It could be an amount per year. It could be an amount per month. It could be what you want to be able to do without stressing. You could want to go on vacation, let's say once or twice a year or something, and have enough money for that. So that's, what do you want that you don't already have? That's your destination. And what does that feel like to you? So first of all, again, what do you want? That's your, whatever your destination is. And from there, we talked about this in the money challenge we just ended. What's the goal seed? And the goal seed is just the feeling of being there. So if you were there, let's say if it's making 100,000 a year, or let's say it's going on a vacation twice a year, or whatever it might be. If you were there, if you had that already, what would be the feeling? And so I encourage you and invite you to take a minute and just figure that out. What would be the feeling of being at that new place? Okay, so hopefully that's pretty simple. You should know that, and just think about, day-to-day life. What would you be able to do? What would it feel like? What would it look like?
Yeah, what's your ideal life?
Right. What's your ideal life? And an important thing to point out is you might not go for the whole thing all at once, right?
Right. You have to do steps, baby steps.
Right. Let's say your ultimate goal is you want to be a multimillionaire. Well, maybe that doesn't feel realistic to you right now. So maybe you shoot for $100,000 or something that would symbolize more wealth to you. That's not a huge step from where you are now, but still something that you don't have yet. So if it doesn't feel believable to you, then you might want to pare that down a little bit. Okay. So, I've done that because I have some pretty big, I guess big is relative, but some, to me, pretty big financial goals that I have pared down, and over time I've been able to reach those smaller steps. And that's how it worked for me, so that's definitely something you can do. So once you have, again, your starting point, just the step 1, step 2 is your destination. Step 3 is the goal seed, the feeling of that destination. And then all you really need to do, and this might seem simplistic, but it's really not, is stop focusing on where you are now and start focusing on the feeling of where you want to be.
Yeah.
So this is very important. And it's difficult with money because it's in our faces every day.
Yeah.
How many things can you do in life and not think about money in some way? Getting out food, let's say you get lunch and you get some food out of the refrigerator. Well, you might look in and see how much food you have left. It might be a lot, it might be a little. If it's a little, you might think, oh, I have to go grocery shopping soon, and that makes you think about money. If you turn on the TV and you think, oh, the cable bill's due soon, makes you think about money. Even look at your cell phone. I have to pay the phone bill soon.
I know.
All sorts of things. If you have let's say you drive somewhere and you look at the gas and you have to get more gas soon and you have to pay for gas. Almost anything we do is tied into money. So it's difficult to really get away from the subject, which is why it's kind of difficult. I don't want to come out and say it's a difficult subject, because I know it's very easy for some people. But it's challenging in the way that changing your vibration around money takes a lot of focus and a lot of discipline to really, really change that around. Okay. So basically, now that you have that destination in mind and the feeling of that destination, what would that feel like? The thing that you need to do is to shift your focus from where you are to where you want to be. The feeling of it. Again, not the actions. Don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff. It's fake. But just the feeling of that. And the biggest thing is in your day-to-day life, when you're thinking about money, shifting your focus, shifting your vibration from the place it was or is to the place you want it to be. So let's say you sit down and you have to pay your gas bill. And it's winter now, so if you're in the north and it's cold and it's snowy, it's probably going to be expensive.
Yes.
I know ours was like $214 for this month because it's the winter now.
Really?
Which is,
you don't even tell me what these are.
I don't. So usually it's whatever, but it's like usually in the summer it's only like $70 or something. And we have a small house, so it's not like, I know for some people who have a bigger house, their gas in the winter might be like $500 or something. But here it's not too bad. But let's say you sit down to pay your gas bill. And let's say your old money vibration is one of panic. Like, how am I going to do this? What if I don't have enough money? Things like that. Why is it so expensive? Whatever. And if you do it from that place, that's just going to confirm and going to persist your current money mindset, your current money vibration. So what you want to do is instead change your vibration as you're sitting there looking at your phone bill, your gas bill. That's what I said. Change your vibration to the place you want it to be. What would you think about your gas bill if you were in this new place? If you were making $100,000 a year, what would you think about a $214 gas bill? You think, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's nothing. You don't even look at it. You just write out the check or send in the money or pay, call over the phone and pay it. Whatever. You wouldn't have a second thought about it. And so that's where you want to get to. Now, obviously, you can't just get there immediately, because you've practiced this vibration, you've practiced this panic or this concern or this worry about it. But you have to climb up to the place of feeling okay about it, of actually just kind of not even giving it a second thought. Now, the way to do, in fact, what I would encourage is not even to pay it until you can do it from the place you want to be doing it from. If you have that time. If they're going to terminate your service tomorrow, then you probably should pay it. But if you have some leeway, if you have some leeway, take a day, take 2 days, take a week if you have it, and just get to a place where you can, $214 or whatever yours is. That's cool, whatever, and just pay it. If you're not at that place, or at least get to a better place. You may not even be able to get to that place right now, but at least get to a place where you don't feel so panicked about it, where you feel more relieved about it, where you feel more confident about it. Okay, you may not be able to get there all in one go. It might take a few months of looking at the gas bill, or whatever bill it is. Get up to that place of the way you want to feel. Same thing if you go out to dinner, and you're thinking, I don't want to, order too much. I don't want it to be too expensive. Change that. Would you be thinking that if you were at the place you want to be? Obviously not. So even when we weren't doing so well, when Christine and I were dating, I used to tell her, don't worry about the prices when we go out.
Yep. I remember. I
Remember
was
that?
just going to say that too.
Were you?
Yeah.
I used to,
And that was
don't
like
worry
a
about the
weird.
prices. Yeah. I would just, because if you're going out, you're going out to enjoy it. Like, I don't care if it's $50 or $100 or whatever. Like, you're going out to enjoy it. So I'm not going to care about the prices. So you can do this even if you don't have a lot of money. We were on SSI, so we weren't like, crazy well off or
Back then,
anything.
though, I thought you were rich because I think you got a lot more than I did.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing. I don't know. But yeah, you don't, you can do this no matter how much you're making. But if you're choosing to go out to dinner, do it in style. Like, go to a place you can afford no matter what you get, and then don't worry about it. So whatever you're doing with money, do it from the vibration that you want to be at, from the place, from the feeling that you want. Okay, that's the most important thing right now I can tell you, is just to do that. Just, okay, again, know where you are, know where you want to be, know the feeling of that place, which is the goal seed. I've talked about that a lot of times in my posts and the challenges and whatnot. And then anytime you think about money, change your vibration until it's at the place you want to be, or at least closer to that place. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? But anytime you spend money, anytime you think about money, anytime you talk about money, don't talk about, how bad rich people are and stuff like that. People like to complain sometimes. Anytime you think about money, talk about money, spend money, do anything with money, do it from a place of the vibration you want to be at.
Yep.
Right? And then, of course, do your, daily visualizations, or you're focusing on the, feeling place of it, or whatever you're doing. But the law of attraction is a 24/7 process. You don't just do it 5 minutes a day and then worry about money the rest of the day. So that's the main thing I have to tell you. Again, I've noticed a lot of people, they're trying to get money, but they're focusing on struggle. They're focusing on being poor.
And try not to be resentment about money, either about people that make more than you. Don't be resentful about it, because you're gonna get there if you apply the principles. But you can't improve if you have bitterness or resentfulness.
Right.
And really, you should be hanging around those people, not resenting them.
Right, that's a good one. There's a quote, I know I used it once, that you're the average of the 5 closest people you know. So if you're hanging around people who complain about money, what do you think you're going to get?
Yeah,
Or it's going to
exactly.
be easier to be pulled into the vibration. If they're always complaining about how expensive things are and whatever, that's not going to help you. So start hanging around people who are better off. And I've heard many wonderful stories from people who've done that. So that's the basic thing you want to focus on. Now, this brings me into something I want to announce, which is that on Monday, February 5th, I am beginning a 4-week course, which is a self-study course, called Effortless Money Manifestation. And this course is my way of teaching you how to manifest limitless abundance and effortless abundance, and as much or as little as you want. If you want $100,000, that's what you get. If you want $1 million, that's what you get. Anything is possible. I believe that, and I've taught that, and I've experienced that. So, we just got done with the money challenge, and lots of people had wonderful results with that. And I've gotten lots of wonderful feedback from that challenge. But, as I said, if you're on the mailing list, you would have seen this. That was scratching the surface. That was LOA 101. That if
Not even.
No, I would say it's LOA.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But, if you just want to go out and know that you can manifest some basic things or whatever, it'll serve you well. But if you really want a deep understanding of how all this works, especially in regards to money, and this is, again, my passion, my main topic, okay? This is what I love. So I've dedicated a lot of time thinking about how to manifest money. So I have a lot to tell you. If you want to learn all you can about that, then I highly encourage you to check out this course. Now, what I want to say is, and I'll give you the link in just a second, but if you go to that link and sign up by February 1st, so no later than January 31st, I'm going to hold a bonus jumpstart call, and you're going to get $50 off also of the course. But I'm going to hold a bonus jumpstart call probably on February 1st, either on the 1st or 2nd. I'm thinking February 1st because it's a good day. Thursdays are a good day to hold those things. So I'm going to hold a bonus jumpstart call just to answer your questions about the law of attraction, to give an introduction to what we're going to be learning, to hear about your goals, help you to choose your goals, and whatever else needs to be done. It'll be about an hour or so, or whatever is needed. And so that'll be pretty exciting. But you have to sign up by the end of this month. So by midnight, Wednesday night, Eastern time is when you have to sign up by, and you'll get $50 off and be able to access that bonus call. And if you can't come to it, you'll get the recording, but no one else will. No matter if you sign up afterwards, you won't get the recording. So to check out the course, again, the course is, again, 4 weeks, and I'm going to be doing audios several times per week, so it's going to be a pretty intensive course. And there's going to be a private Facebook group for discussing all the content. So to check out the course and more details about it, go to cocreationcoaching.org/effortlessmoney. Okay, once again, it's cocreationcoaching.org/effortlessmoney. So that will take you then. You can check that out. So I hope that this podcast helped you today. It was an enjoyable discussion. And again, if you'd like to check out the show notes or leave a comment, you can go to cocreationcoaching.org/create034. And if you'd like to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or rate or review us, you can go to cocreationcoaching.org/create-iTunes. Thank you, everyone, for listening today. I always appreciate it. And we will see you soon with another podcast. Not sure when yet, but soon. And once again, I am Brandon Oliveris.
And I'm Christine Oliveris.
As always, anything is possible.